This is the story of the Boxer Rebellion, a violent, anti-imperial uprising that shook China to its core. We'll break it down, cause to effect, in about 3 minutes. The stage is late 19th century China. Foreign powers have carved the country into spheres of influence, controlling trade through so-called treaty ports. At the same time, Christian missionaries push deep into the countryside, spreading a Western faith that challenges centuries of tradition. All this makes the ruling Qing dynasty look weak and ineffective. Cause: a devastating famine grips the northern provinces. This is followed by catastrophic floods, leaving millions destitute. Add to this the deep national humiliation from a series of unequal treaties that grant foreigners special privileges. Effect: desperate and angry, ordinary villagers form secret societies. Their goal: to restore China's dignity. Foreigners call them the Boxers. The name comes from their practice of martial arts, which looked like shadow boxing to Western observers. But they weren't a sports club. They mixed these physical rituals with a belief in spirit possession and fierce nationalism. They believed that magical incantations and talismans could make them invulnerable to bullets. But their real power came from their sheer numbers and a shared sense of outrage. Their slogan was simple and powerful: support the Qing, destroy the foreign. This created a complex tension. They weren't trying to overthrow the dynasty, but to force it to cleanse China of all foreign influence. By 1899, Boxer attacks escalate. They burn railways, seeing them as scars on the sacred landscape. They torch churches, symbols of foreign cultural invasion. And they target Chinese Christians, viewing them as traitors to their ancestral traditions. Cause: the new rail lines often cut through ancestral graves, while missionaries used foreign law to protect their converts from local justice. Effect: years of simmering resentment explode into open, brutal violence. In the summer of 1900, Beijing becomes the flashpoint. The Qing court, led by the powerful Empress Dowager Cixi, hesitates. Are the Boxers a threat or an opportunity? Ultimately, she makes a fateful gamble, siding with the Boxers. She declares war on the foreign powers, hoping this popular movement can finally push them out. Foreign diplomats, soldiers, and Chinese Christians retreat into the legation quarter, barricading themselves in. The 55-day siege begins. Cause: diplomats are under fire, and global trade routes are threatened. Effect: an international military force, the Eight-Nation Alliance, is assembled. Britain, Japan, Russia, Germany, France, the US, Italy, and Austria-Hungary unite. They fight their way inland from the coast, following the railways north toward the capital. In August 1900, they storm Beijing and lift the siege. The aftermath is brutal. Allied troops engage in widespread looting and violence. Reprisals against suspected Boxers and their sympathizers are swift and merciless. In 1901, the defeated Qing government signs the Boxer Protocol. The terms are crippling: massive payments, called indemnities, to the foreign powers. Foreign troops are permanently stationed in Beijing, and key defensive forts are demolished. China is forced to pay for decades, both in silver and in sovereignty. But zoom out. Cause: the ultimate humiliation of the rebellion's failure and the subsequent foreign occupation. Effect: an entire generation of Chinese thinkers is radicalized. The old idea of supporting the Qing is dead. Some push for constitutional monarchy, but for many, that's no longer enough. Revolutionaries argue that the entire imperial system must be destroyed to save China. The Boxer Rebellion failed to expel the foreigners, but it fatally wounded the dynasty. Just 10 years later, the Qing collapses, ending 2 millennia of imperial rule. The Boxer Rebellion fails militarily, yet its political fallout proves catastrophic for the Qing dynasty, fatally weakening its authority and accelerating the end of imperial China. Its legacy, however, is complex and fiercely debated. In China's national memory, the Boxers are a potent symbol, sometimes of blind, xenophobic fury, other times of defiant, patriotic resistance. And the world learns a powerful lesson: a pattern we still see today. Intense foreign pressure breeds backlash. That backlash invites intervention, and intervention reshapes nations, often in ways nobody intended.